मते जीवाति लोभ माया सुदुर्मति ताके जेता कठिन संसारे कृष्ण बड़ा दयामय करी बारे जीव जाय स्व प्रसाद नदी लोभाय सैयनामृत पाओ राधा कृष्ण गुण गाओ प्रेमे डाको श्री चैतन्य निताय जय निमाय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा. The first question is, many of you may be knowing the Mahaprasad prayer which we chant before honoring prasadam, which I just recited. How many of you know the meaning of that? Or we just go on Sharira, Vidyajal, Jadendriya, Tahekal. Do we know the meaning of this? Take jeta kathin sansare, Krishna bada dayamay, kari bare jivva jay, swaprasad. How many of we know the meaning of this properly? So that you can think about it. Because if we understand the meaning of this prayer, then you will understand the importance of prasad to some extent, because there are many different prayers for prasadam, bhoga, this that. One more prasadam prayer is normally which is not recited amongst devotees. Most of the time many devotees they don't know, but Mahaprabhu, when Mahaprabhu and Nityanand Prabhu used to take prasadam during their time, based on that, Bhakti Vinod Thakur has composed a prasadam prayer. He's saying, Bhai re, oh my dear brothers, एक दिन शांति पूरे प्रभु अद्वैतेर घरे दुई प्रभु भोजने बोसिलो. Means one day in Shantipur in Advaitacharya's house, two Prabhus, they sat down for lunch, bhojan. शाक करी आस्वादन प्रेमे बोले भक्तगण. When all the devotees they ate this shaka, whatever the devotees had cooked. The devotees had cooked some sabjis, shak. When Mahaprabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, Dui Prabhu, they honored this. All the devotees they started chanting, Ei Shaka Krishna Aswadilo. That this sabji, this vegetable, now Krishna has tasted. Krishna has tasted the sabji, rasa from the sabji. Heno shaka aswadane. So now what will happen when we will eat this shak, when we will eat this sabji? Krishna prema aise mane. That means that will develop Krishna prem in our mind. Sahi preme karo aswadana. So please accept this sabji or shak with love and honor it, because Dui Prabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityanand Prabhu has tasted this. Jada Buddhi Parihari. What will happen? This prasad will help you conquer your dumb-headedness, your Jada Buddhi, your foolishness, basically, your materialistic intelligence. Jada Buddhi Parihari. It will help you to overcome this Jada Buddhi. Prasad bhojana kari, by eating prasad. When you will take bhojan, by eating prasad, Jada Buddhi Parihari. Hari Hari bole sarvajana. So all of them they are chanting Hari Hari. Similarly, there is a prayer for Bhog Arti. When deities are offered Bhog, there is Bhog Arti. Bhaj Bhakat Vatsal Shri Gaura Hari. Shri Gaura Hari Sohi Goshta Bihari. नंद यशोमति चित्तहारी भज भक्त वत्सल Shri Gaura Hari. Now in this Bhog Arti, which we'll discuss tomorrow, all details are given, many details. It is a big Arti of, I think, like 17 or 18 paras. So we were discussing about prasadam, and which is one of the most important aspects of spiritual life. And currently in the Kali Yuga, which is the current age, only two things are effective, that is prasadam and harinam. If done in a proper way, harinam is also effective only if you do it in a proper way. You have to avoid the 10 offenses, you have to take care also other some precautions while chanting, the quality of chanting, the quantity of chanting, everything is prescribed. Similarly, the quantity of prasad, the quality, the ingredients, what to eat, what not to eat. Although Krishna says patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam, yome, bhaktya, prayachati, ashnami, I eat. So Krishna is saying that you can offer me any leaf, any flower, a little water, patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam, fruit. I will eat it. Ashnami. Ashnami means I will eat. But it's not necessary that if you don't have anything and if you just pluck some leaf which you don't know what leaf it is, it can be poisonous leaf. The leaf can be poisonous, the fruit can be poisonous, and you offer that to Krishna, that doesn't mean you can eat that. Basically, not on our stage. Mirabai can do that. But on our stage, we cannot do that. So that's why it is very important what to offer to Krishna and eat. Not that whatever I think I can offer to Krishna and eat. Not like that. Because a wrong food item or prasadam item in your body can do a lot of harm physically, health wise, and spiritually. You see, normally when a person is sick, we are administered medicines, either allopathic or homeopathic, Ayurvedic, like this. So normally a normal body weight of a person is anything between 50 to 80, 90 kgs. Someone has more than that. Someone is 100, 120, 130 kgs. Normally the weight is like between 50 to 80, 90 kgs. Normally, 95% cases, the weight of a person may vary from 50 to 90 kgs. So when you are administered medicine, you see the medicine potency. If you look at the allopathic medicine, it is something medicine 2 mg, 5 mg, sometimes 0.5 mg. It's milligram. 1 gram is just like this, which is very difficult to see. 1 gram, and 1,000 part of that gram is milligram. So sometimes the medicine is 2 mg, 5 mg, sometimes half mg, 0.5 mg, 0.25 mg, whatever medicine name. Sometimes it can be 10 mg. So whatever, what I am telling you, it ranges from 0.5 mg to 1 to 5 mg, or maybe 10 mg maximum. That much of, and it is said that when you take a medicine tablet of 2 mg, means 2 milligrams of that some particular chemicals which have been used in that medicine, you have to take. So your body, because it is a chemical, not a natural product, an unnatural product, normally it doesn't grasp it, digestive system. So the digestive system will forcibly grasp only 5 to 10% of that, and 90% of that will be thrown away out of the body through urine or whatever, toilet or whatever. So if you are taking a 2 mg tablet, which is unnatural and which is a chemical, some chemicals, whatever, sulfur dioxide or whatever it is. And out of that, only 5 to 10% your body is grasping. So such a minute quantity of medicine, for a 50 kg to 90 kg body, it is almost like nothing. But that makes an effect on your health and you are cured of something. You are cured of something. So what I want to tell you is 0.25 mg, 1 mg, 2 mg of something has such a drastic effect on your body. Along with curing you, it can develop some side effects also. So this is so a wrong thing or a proper thing in a proper quantity is very much important. And if something goes wrong, a proper thing in a proper quantity and a proper way like this. So if something you take a wrong thing in a wrong quantity, basically, or even whatever, once it can cause a lot of harm to the physical body, mental, intelligence, finally spiritual. You see, just even if a honeybee bites you, honeybee bites you, how much it's just a small sting, or ant, normal ants in the house are very small, but there are some ants on the trees which are like a little bigger, like this, little bigger. If that ant bites you, there is a swelling, or if a honeybee bites you, there is a swelling like a speed breaker, and all the area around the bite, it is affected by this small, even a mosquito bite, cockroach also bites. So what I want to tell you is a small disturbance can, small quantities in mgs, milligrams, can disturb your body, your mind. Once your body is disturbed, your mind is disturbed, your intelligence is disturbed, spiritual life is disturbed. For spiritual life, there is need of at least sattva guni intelligence. The person may not be intelligent in academic things. He may not be intelligent in science and chemistry and mathematics or whatever, algorithms. But someone may be intelligent in spiritual things. So that intelligence of spiritual field, that is a different thing. It has no relation with a normal IQ of a person or a normal intelligence of a person in the material world. So what I want to tell you is small quantity. The main thing what I told you just now is a small quantity of something can cure you, can have side effects on you, and in mgs, 1, 2 mg, 5 mg, 10 mg can create a effect on your 50 to 90 kg body. So what I want to tell you is body is delicate, not strong as we presume. We think we are strong, we have a lot of strength. Something 1 or 2 mg goes wrong inside the body, there's a problem. 1 or 2 mg proper things goes into the body, you can get cured of the disease. So when we say prasadam, 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 it is very much important. Anything and everything is not prasadam. It is not that you offer to Krishna and you eat, that is prasadam. You offer to Krishna whatever you want and you eat, that is prasadam. No, it is not like that. Not that every kind of patram, pushpam, valam, toyam is prasadam. Okay, any water is prasadam if I offer to Krishna. Any fruit will become prasadam if I offer to Krishna. Any leaf will become prasadam if I offer to Krishna. Any flower will become prasadam if I offer to Krishna. No. Not like that. Not every flower you can offer to Krishna is eatable or consumable. Not every fruit you can offer to Krishna is consumable. Of course, you offer to Krishna what you want to consume. That is it. But for Krishna, you can offer anything. Krishna, for Krishna, it is nothing like poisonous or non-poisonous or toxic or non-toxic or sweet or bitter or everything. For him, there is no difference. That is for us on a current level. Because we are not on a level where we don't discriminate. Means we have an equal vision for all everything. So we are not extremely Vishuddha Sattva pure devotees. So we have to be very careful while dealing with prasadam. So first thing about prasadam is it should be swapaki. Swapaki is the most important part in prasadam. Swapaki means cooked by ourselves, cooked by devotees, and served by devotees and served by ourselves. Swapaki, maximum important point number one. You can take a paper and pen and write down if anyone is interested. Swapaki, there is a vow like this, like sannyas vow and harinam diksha, this that. Some people, they take a vow, swapaki. Swapaki means they will only eat what they cook, or someone of a very high spiritual level cooks, or from the family members, like mother cooks, sister cooks, like this. Otherwise, they will not eat if anyone else cooks. This was swapaki. So normally, devotees, we should also be swapaki, means either we should eat what we cook or what some devotee cooks. Because, and this includes everything. This includes the pickles, the papads, the jams, whatever. Not that you can buy the jam from the store and chapati you will cook. You can buy pickles from the company made pickles or papads. Everything you should do, maximum possible things you should do yourself. And previously, all these things were homemade. Even in case of my grandmother's time, it was 100% homemade. In my parents' time, it was like maybe 70-80% homemade, maybe even 90. Now 70-80-90% is from the market, because women, they don't want to make anything in the home. They don't want to make papads. They don't want to make pickles and jams. They don't want to make so many things. Yes, still some cooking is going on where there is some culture. Basically, there is a big racket in the world by these capitalists people who are cruel demons. And they had big management people employed to study how we can be successful. And then the management people told them, they see, until the culture is not destroyed, any culture, Hindu culture, Christian culture, Muslim culture, whatever, until the time the culture is not destroyed, we cannot be successful. Because on the basis of culture, people stick to it as faith. There may not be some scientific proof, or there may not be some philosophical support, but just on the base of a culture, people just stick to something. No, this you cannot do, this you cannot eat, this you cannot, like this. So until the time culture is not destroyed, we cannot be successful. So then they said, okay, how to destroy culture? Please find out. So then these big management people employed by these capitalists, there are like few 15, 20 in the world, or top who are managing all these things. So the big management people, they are employed and paid big fat salary to find out all this. Throughout the world, they think, how they can be successful. So, okay, to destroy culture, you have to destroy woman. This is what they found out. You have to destroy woman. Once in any culture, woman is destroyed, culture is destroyed. Okay, so destroy woman means what to do? Find out what to do to destroy woman. Okay, so to destroy woman, 3 things has to be done. What are the 3 things? One is we should stop her cooking in the house. Second is we should do man woman equality and make them independent. We should make them, they should feel independent of man and independent of protection. Okay, so stop cooking in house, make them independent, means make them feel independent. They are not independent, but make them feel independent. And the third is make them naked. Remove their clothes and expose them publicly naked. If we can do these three things, woman will be destroyed. And if woman is destroyed from any, Hindu woman is destroyed, Hindu culture will be destroyed. Muslim woman is destroyed, Muslim culture will be destroyed. Christian woman is destroyed, Christian culture will be destroyed. So in this way, wherever we can destroy woman in these three ways, culture will be destroyed. Whatever culture, any culture, doesn't matter. Russia, Malaysia, Indonesia, America, Muscat, India, doesn't matter. This is common formula they found out. And then they started working on it. So this is big propaganda going on in the world. You see, these three things are promoted. Women should not cook in house. Everything should be coming from market, which you can see now is happening in most of the Western countries. There is no cooking. You just buy bread, you buy jam, you buy this, you buy pickle. You don't know how to do it. I was discussing with some foreigners, they were discussing about corona, this, that, lockdowns, this, that. Say, you Indians, how you look so jolly, you are so peaceful. Here it is so problem, we don't know. Because the problem is they have to go out of the house for everything, even to buy water. They have to buy water, they have to buy milk from stores, they have to buy bread, they have to buy jams, they have to buy pickles, they have to buy everything. They have to buy noodles, they have to buy pasta, they have to buy tomato sauce, they have to buy soya sauce, they have to buy nothing. They are cooking in home, just bring it. So they don't have anything. I said, we are happy because we have stock of 6 months. I stocked 6 months of rice, dal, wheat, cereals, lentils. I have homemade pickles, I have homemade jams, I have 3-4 pickles and 2 types of jams homemade. So no problem. Even if I don't step out of the house, I have 6 months stock of dal, of rice, of wheat, of atta, of so many lentils, cereals. Then I have a stock of pickles and jams. So even if I don't step out of my house for 6 months, I can survive for 6 months. And I have a well for water from which you can draw water. So this is the problem. You stop cooking in house, you are in trouble. Then woman starts feeling independent. She is in trouble, the culture is in trouble, the society is in trouble. And to make her feel independent, you have to expose her publicly on the streets, naked. I'm sorry to say all these things when it comes to prasadam, but this is what is happening in the world, because prasadam is dependent on cooking in home. And cooking in home means woman. Of course, men can do that also. Men can help, they can assist. Sometimes they can also do. But basically, majority of the responsibility of cooking in home is for women. And that's why I told you all these things. Now I can even speak for one Saturday, Sunday about this big racket. How they are destroying, who are these people, what they are doing specifically to do that, how they are, so all these things. Corn flour. Now you are depending. Breakfast you cannot cook poha, upma, idli, sambar, parathas, puri sabji. You are dependent. You have to have corn flour, cornflakes. Sorry, cornflakes. I don't know names. Cornflakes. Then you need to have not only just simple cornflakes. Cornflakes with iron, potassium, manganese, and 58 other minerals. Nonsense. And this big box is so big. It is only 25% full. 75% of the top is empty with air. And the price of that, 150 rupees, in that I can buy 5 kg atta and eat breakfast for 6 months. with 5 kg atta, only breakfast. If it is only breakfast, in 5 kg atta, maybe I can have breakfast for 3 months in 150 rupees. But this 150 rupees cornflakes from Kellogg's with 58 minerals, it is just 2 servings. 2 servings, maybe maximum 4 servings, I don't know. We are so foolish. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in one place that in Kali Yuga, people will be so dumb-headed and foolish that they will not even have the intelligence of how to eat. This is the tragedy. And this is there amongst devotees also. That is a big problem. So as I told you in the initial thing, that a small quantity of something, proper thing can cure you, a wrong thing can disturb you physically, mentally, intelligence, and then finally spiritual life. Slowly, it accumulates. If you want to follow what I am telling you, I am going to tell you in the next 2 days, today and tomorrow. As I said, you can note it down on a pen and a paper, with a pen and a paper, and you can try to follow that for the next 3 to 6 months. I know after hearing to all these things, you will say, Prabhuji, this is so difficult. We cannot do this. We cannot do that. You can do that. There's no problem. So first of all, in the 17th chapter, Krishna just relates. There are many things in the Gita at 3-4 places he says about prasadam. Like Yajna Shishta Shina Santo Muchante Sarva Kilbishai Hunjate Te Tvagam Papat Ye Pachantyatma Karanat. Bhagavad Gita chapter 3 shloka 13 3:13. I think yes. So just a minute. 3:13. Yeah, 3:13. So he's saying Yajna Shishta Shina Santo. Anyone, Santa means saintly people, a devotee. Muchante Sarva Kilviche. A devotee or a saintly person, Santa, Yajna Shishta Sina Santo. A saintly person or a devotee, before eating anything, he will offer it to me. Krishna is saying. Yajna means offer. He will offer to me. And then he will eat. Yajna Shishta Sina Santo. Yajna, actually, Yajna doesn't mean fire sacrifice. That is Hom Havan. Hom Havan is one variety of Yajna, of Yajna. Yajna, simple definition, the perfect definition of Yajna is any activity performed for pleasure of Krishna according to the instructions and desires of Krishna. Any activity performed for pleasure of Krishna according to desire and instructions of Krishna is Yajna. Chanting is Yajna, dancing in Kirtan is Yajna, cooking prasadam is Yajna, making a garland is Yajna, cleaning the temple floor is Yajna. Out of all this, and Hom Havan is also Yajna, fire sacrifice. Distributing books is Yajna, collecting donation for Janmashtami is Yajna. And out of all these Yajnas, so there are millions of different types of Yajna. If a carpenter is making altar for the deities, that is Yajna. So out of so many different million varieties of Yajna, the topmost Yajna is Japa. In Gita, Krishna says, Yajnanam Japa Yajnosmi. Out of all the Yajnas, Japa Yajna. Japa Yajna is most dear to Krishna. He himself manifests through Japa Yajna. Yajnanam Japa Yajnosmi. I. Yajna Shishta Shina Santo Muchante Sarva Kilbishai. Muchante Sarva Kilbishai. What happens because of this? Because they offer to me and then eat the food. Muchante Sarva Kilbishai. They get free from all the sins. Bhunjate te tvagam papat ye pachantyatma karanat. And those who do not offer to me and eat directly without offering, bhunjate te tvagam papat, they are verily eating sin. Although they may be eating anything, but they are eating sin. They may not be eating onion garlic, they may not be doing this, that, and may they be vegetarians, but if they are not offering to Krishna, they are eating sin. So actually we are not vegetarian or vegans or what means this. Anyhow, vegan is another nonsense. So we are not vegetarians, we are prasaditarians. Basically, you should tell people, when it comes to veg and non-veg, we are prasaditarians. Now, as I was telling you that in the 17th chapter, Krishna is telling about, one more time he is touching this topic of food, where he's saying there are three kinds of food stuff: sattva guni, rajoguni, tamoguni. Food stuff in the mode of goodness, in the mode of passion, and in the mode of ignorance. So that is chapter 17 and shloka sankhya 8, 9 and 10. He says, Ayu sattva bala rogam sukha priti vivardhana asya snigdha sthira. Chapter 17, shloka 8, 9, 10. Foods in the mode of goodness increase the duration of life, purify one's existence. This is on the spiritual day. Purify one's existence. Gives strength, health, happiness, and satisfaction. Such nourishing foods are sweet, juicy, fattening, and palatable. Foods that are too bitter, too sour, salty, pungent, dry, and hot means chili. Now here Krishna is using, in case of bitter and sour, he is using the word too bitter and too sour. But in case of hot and chili, he is not saying too hot and too chili, which means no chili, zero chili. Foods that are too bitter means a little bitter is okay. Too sour means a little sour is okay. Salty means a little salt is okay. Pungent, not okay. Dry and hot are liked by people. Now you see, who likes such kind of food? So whoever likes such kind of food, Krishna is describing, are liked by people in the mode of passion. So we can understand where we stand by reading these three shlokas. Such food cause pain, distress, and disease. Food cooked more than 3 hours before being eaten. Food cooked more than 3 hours before being eaten, which is tasteless, stale, putrid, decomposed, and unclean, is food liked by people in the mode of ignorance. So Krishna is touching this topic briefly in Gita. But this is enough for a person who has sufficient intelligence to understand what Krishna wants to say, and any intelligent person would try to find out more details about it. So first of all, zero chili. No green chili, no red chili, no red chili powder, no garam masala. Zero. Now, I know many of you, most of you, this is very shocking because we are so used to it. But I'll tell you at the end what. Second thing comes is one of the important things from this which I want to tell you is zero chili. Now, when we cook bhoga, finally prasadam, there are so many ingredients we use, different kind of ingredients. So first of all, we have to see that all the ingredients, they should be as much as possible to the maximum extent in natural forms. Like salt should be pure sea salt, not processed in some factory, iodized salt or something like that. Now last year, there is, in India, there is another new advertisement about salt, which the movie star Anil Kapoor was doing. I was so surprised to see this ad. Actually, not surprised. I knew this will happen, but I was so surprised that people will consume it. So the ad was, now normally the natural sea salt is available for 7 to 8 rupees a kg. The company salt, iodized, this cap in India, iodized salt is available for 25 rupees a kg. That is 3 times of the natural sea salt. And then this Anil Kapoor launched another sea salt with 99 some minerals, whatever. Salt with 99 minerals, 100 rupees kg. I don't want to speak much about it. This is nonsense. I don't want to waste my time on this nonsense. So this iodized salt is also something which is useless. Try to get original things. Even the oil you are using, which oil to eat. Devotees should not eat sunflower oil, no soybean oil, no other oil, this whatever, palm. And we should not eat refined oil. Never, no refined oil, no double, triple filtered oil also, if possible. So then we'll say which oil to eat. Oil should be cold pressed. Best oil is til, sesame oil, til ka tel, peanut, मूंगफली का तेल, mustard, सरसों का राई का तेल, coconut, नारियल का तेल. There are these few oils which are best for cooking. And that also just extracted by cold press, not filtered. Use them as it is, without any preservatives, without any additives, without any processing of heating and anything. That is called cold pressed. Previously oils were like this. Now they are double filtered, triple filtered, and double filtered, triple filtered. Now no one is using. Everyone is using refined oil, and then there is no fats in the oil. Refined oil means fat free. What is a cholesterol free? Did that? Basically, oil means fat. Why are you supposed to consume oil? Because oil means fat. If you remove fat from oil, it is like oil. It is almost like water. And that is harmful for health. Your body needs fats. And natural oil fats, because the oil doesn't have fat, then you have to find fat, what do you say, from somewhere. So this oil business and oil industry and oil mafia is a big problem, first of all. So first you purify your oil, purify your salt, which are the two basic things without which you cannot cook. Make it zero chili, no green chili, no red chili powder, no garam masala. Then comes the utensils, which is one of the another important things. No aluminium utensils. Aluminium is big poison, so much harm to the body. Because when you kick in utensils, you stir this, that, some part of the utensils is dissolved in that. And aluminum is so soft. Aluminum is a soft metal. I was cooking in aluminum vessels long back, cooking for big vessels in temples, prasadam for 300 people and this, that. And when you stir, when aluminum is hot and you scrape it with the sarata, like flat like this, you scrap the top ring of the, it will peel off, the aluminum will peel off. Aluminum is soft. When it is hot, when you stir it, it mixes in a lot of quantity in the food stuff. Finally, it goes into your body, it destroys your kidney. It is poisonous, so it will destroy your liver, your kidneys, and so many things. Stop using aluminium at all. Many people have aluminium kadhai, aluminium tawa, aluminium containers, aluminium patilas, for cooking. No non-stick utensils, no Teflon, no non-stick. Then no aluminium, no non-stick kadai, no non-stick tawa, no non-stick whatever. Non-stick is again, Teflon is one kind of plastic finally. Oh, the heat doesn't have effect on it and this and that. Okay. That is same like aluminium. Some portion will surely come. No plastic containers and bottles for storage. Minimum. Now you all will tell me then what to do. Go in the forest and live or what? No. You use glass. Use glass bottles for storage. You can use some glass big bottles for dal and is that a little big, 1 or 2 kg. Or you can use brass, bronze, stainless steel is okay as a last option. For cooking, you can use iron tawa, iron kadhai, brass, bronze, patilas. Stainless steel is okay as the last option. Stainless steel containers you can use. Now, one thing I would like to point out here is, before I go further, is we have no desire to spend when it comes to the case of prasadam or food stuff. We will spend so much money for jewelry, useless jewelry. We will spend so much money for expensive clothes. We will pay so much money. In India, I think 400 and 500 rupees every month for this satellite TV, 1000 channels, 24 hours, bang, bang, banging into your head, injecting Maya. We are ready to pay for Maya, a big price. We are ready to pay a big price for our shoes. 3,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees, 8,000 rupees for a pair of shoes, which you can get for 200-300 rupees. I think I am never using shoes, but I don't know. I am using how I buy chappal. I'll tell you. I go into the shop. I tell him whichever is the cheapest, 50 rupees, 40 rupees. You just bring out that my size, and he brings out. He says this is minimum 60, this is 70, this is 80. He shows me 3 varieties cheapest. And from the cheapest 3 varieties, I buy one which is normally 60, 70 or 80 rupees. That's all. This is how I buy my chappal. And this is how I buy all my other things, basically when it comes to clothes and all these things, but not food stuff. So I don't buy food stuff like that. Go to the shop and ask him what is the cheapest. Give me that. All other things I buy. So all other things I buy like this. But when it comes to food items, I buy the proper one. Sometimes without considering the price. And sometimes I can travel few 50 or 100 kilometers to get it. So what I was telling you is, try to buy natural, real value things, no canned items, good ingredients without chemical preservatives, normally self-made things. So no canned products, no processed products, no bread, no cakes from the shop, means from the shop, no ice creams from the shop, basically minimum, reduce it to minimum. No biscuits, no chips from the shop. Raw materials we use during the cooking should be as natural as possible, maximum to the extent whichever is possible in your area. So then one of the most simple things which we do while cooking is the tadka. We put some oil and then we put some things in that before we cook the vegetable or dal or whatever it is. Now you will say we are not using red chili, we are not using green chili, we are not using red chili powder, we are not using garam masala. Now what to use? So in tadka, you can, normally in tadka common things are mustard, jeera, cumin seeds, then there is hing, asafoetida, haldi, turmeric. So these 3-4 things are common. But other than that, you can use cloves, lavang. You can put cloves, you can use ginger, and you can use black pepper if you can digest and if it is okay for you. Black pepper you can use little or whatever. And then in tadka, sometimes you can use urad dal, you can put methi dana and ilaichi, badi saunf, black pepper I told you, dalchini, tej patta. And after tadka in sabji also or dal, you can sometimes use kasuri methi. Use all these things on a regular basis, like once or twice in a week. Ajwain. Then there is khaskhas, poppy seeds. I don't know in Hindi also what it is said. Marathi is khaskhas, English is poppy seeds. Then you have to use a small piece of jaggery. You have to put a small piece of jaggery in dal and sabji. And you can use ginger, cloves, black pepper if you want to make it little spicy. But don't use red chili powder, green chili, and garam masala. So normal tadka is haldi, hing, turmeric, asafoetida, cumin seeds, jeera, rai, along with that lavang, black pepper. Then there is coriander seeds, dhane. You can use, as I said, you can sometimes use methi dana once or twice a week, urad dal, ajwain, khaskhas, ilaichi, badi saunf, dalchini, tej patta, kasuri methi. And then there is chuna. You know, people in India eat pan. People in India eat this pan. So in pan, they apply this chuna. This is limestone. Again, you have to get it natural, not the factory one. So if you can get this limestone chuna, you have to add a pinch of chuna like salt, like you add some little pinch of salt. You have to add this pinch of chuna in the dal or sabji every day you use. This is if you are not consuming a lot of milk or if you are not consuming milk at all. So this is calcium for the body, natural. And this calcium really gives you strength, not the calcium tablets. Similarly, when you cook on an iron tawa and iron kadhai, sabji and chapati, you will never have hemoglobin deficiency in your body. Because hemoglobin deficiency is deficiency of iron. Hemoglobin is iron. Then you have to take iron tablets for hemoglobin deficiency. But the iron tablets don't help. If you have hemoglobin deficiency, from tomorrow start using iron tawa and iron kadai. your hemoglobin deficiency will be gone in 6 months. No need to take iron tablets. You have calcium deficiency, add tuna 1 pinch every day to the regular dal and sabji you cook. You will not have calcium deficiency at all. Otherwise, drink nice quantity of milk and dahi and all these things and buttermilk. It has calcium, lot of calcium. So this is things you have to use. After you are finished the making sabji and dal, the things which you have to use on a regular basis, on a daily basis, is lemon and coriander leaves. You have to squeeze a lemon on the sabji or in the dal. Dal not necessarily, but on the sabji. You have to squeeze lemon on the sabji. You have to put coriander leaves, and if possible, coconut also, if you can use every day, or if not every day, you can grate coconut, for dry or wet, whatever it is. You have to use maybe at least 2-3 times, alternate day, whatever availability. Lemon, basically lemon keeps you away from, if you are using a lemon every day, you don't need to fear of any virus, currently the coronavirus. Then coriander leaves, what the coriander leaves does, the coriander leaves, it has very good property. If you read in a coriander leaves, you see, you digest the coriander leaf, its juice and rasa, it goes through the blood all over the body. Finally, what happens to what you eat? It is digested. All those chemicals extracted from this food are infused into the blood system, and it goes all around the body, all this thing. So when coriander leaves extracts go all around the body, all these molecules or whatever it is, they have a very good property that they attract all the poisonous metals from the places, even zinc and lead. And some quantity of lead is always going inside the body through some different thing. So it will collect all the lead around it, lead and zinc and this and that, and it will go through the kidney and thrown out of the body. So coriander leaves is collecting all the poisonous things in your body, anything poisonous, not necessarily metals or harmful. It will collect around it. It will take it to the kidney, and kidney will purify that and remove the harmful things and throw it out of the body through kidney or through hairs or through nails. They will bring it here and deposit it in the nail which is growing. So it will come out after some time. After 1 month, it is gone through hair and nails. So this is what coriander leaves is doing. I don't know how many of you are using coriander leaves on a regular basis. How many of you are using lemon on a regular basis? Because if you don't do that, then you need a doctor. And doctor gives you some nonsense tablets which don't help. Doctor will not tell you, use coriander leaves, use lemon. So because he has to make his own business, and they have to sell all these medicines which they manufactured after spending billions of rupees for the research. Foolish research. Research means what? You are searching something which is lost, or which you don't know. Research. Vedic knowledge is already present. We don't need to research. But no one believes it. Everyone laughs on it. Oh, eat coriander leaves every day and lemon. Ha 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 ha. This is nonsense. He is foolish. Don't listen to him. Hey, what is going? Coriander leaves every day. What is going to happen? Lemon every day. No. What is it? Use natural salt, not company salt. What difference does it make? He talks nonsense. All this is nonsense. So I know many people will make fun of this, but just because Mataji requested me to speak on this, I will speak frankly. Those who want to laugh, they can laugh. Those who want to follow, they can follow. Those who want to take it seriously, they can take it seriously. Those who want to think about it, you can think. At least I am giving you a intuition to think about it, what you are doing and what you should do. So you will say, okay, we are not using garam masala spices. We are not using chili, this, that. So I told you, you can use ginger and lavang and black pepper. But there are some other spices also. Not that the only spices existing in the world is garam masala, but there are some more spices which are very wonderful. One is sambar masala. Any spices, sambar masala, pav bhaji masala, whatever. The spices should be also without red chili. Now in India, it is a big problem. I never understand why the spices company use red chili as their in one of the ingredients, whereas chili is not a spice. When they are making spices, they should purely make spices, and red chili powder a person can add according to his requirement, less or more. Means if someone is doing zero chili, that's a different thing. But all spices they are selling, any company, so many companies, their green chili is, and they are adding that green chili in so much quantity. My God, it's terrible. So there is a spice called Goda Masala. Goda Masala, you can search on Google. Write down Goda Masala. Goda, Goda Masala. Goda Masala, Goda means sweet. It is not sweet, but because it is not hot, it is called Goda Masala. Goda Masala means it is not hot. That's why it is Goda Masala. It is a Marathi word, but you can find Goda Masala recipe on Google. Then there is sambar masala recipe in Google. All recipes are in Google. You just remove red chili from that. You just remove onion from that. You just remove garlic from that. You just remove green chili from that. You remove red chili powder from that. And rest of the recipe is perfect. There is a masala powder called Methkut. Methkut is a fantastic masala which you can put in raitas. Or not in raita, you can just put Methkut in dahi and make a raita. Or if there is cucumber raita, you can put 2 spoons of Methkut in that. Methkut you can even add to dal. Methkut you can add to anything. So you read Methkut on Google. You can add on dal rice. And not only that, you can eat Methkut ghee and rice. It is so tasty. Just hot rice with Methkut and ghee and little salt. It is a feast. And Methkut is a tonic. Along with masala, it is tonic, because if you see the ingredients of Methkut, it is a strength-giving tonic. But we don't want to make it in our homes. Who will do all these efforts and the hard work? So if you don't want to do hard work and good efforts, you will not get good things to eat. Material world means if you want something good, you have to struggle. You want good education, you have to struggle. You want good hotel, big price to stay. Good hotel to stay, big price. You want good anything in the material world, you have to struggle. So if you want good prasadam, you have to struggle. You have to work a little bit on it. You have to work yourself, because the market product, the market product doesn't care for your health. Why you should cook what you are cooking or devotees are cooking? Because there is love. That is our person who is doing it for us. There is some bondage. There is some care behind that. Oh, I should make it nicely. I should make it with the best ingredients for my family. It should be clean. But someone who is selling something, he doesn't have the mood to care for you. It is not cooked with the mood to care for you. It is not cooked. That's why it is not cooked maybe in a clean environment. That's why it may not be cooked. That's why it may not be cooked with the finest ingredients. Just a minute. So it cannot be cooked. It should be cooked with the finest ingredients. And then there is then there are dry fruits. If you can afford dry fruits, the dates and figs and so many, they are good dry fruits. and the cost of the dry fruits is cheaper than the chocolates which your children are eating. Whenever your child asks for something, give him a couple of dates, a fig, a dry fig. That is cheaper than the chocolates your child is eating. And that is million times beneficial for the child than the chocolates. If you will do this since his birth, since he was 6 months old, since the child was 1 year old, since the child was 2 years old, if you did this from his birth, then the child will never ask you chocolates. Then the child will never ask you chocolates. He will be habituated to eating dates, figs, raisins, and he will like them. Because once he has this taste, the chocolate taste is obnoxious. Because you didn't develop for him. Even now you change. It is simple, higher taste. Why Prabhupada said higher taste? Higher taste means, I'll tell you that later. But anyhow, the dry fruits, like for children, you can give them dates and figs and many other, and then cook something in house. The laddus, the salty, whatever, khakra, salty shankarpale, sweet shankarpale, like sweet. They are like sweet biscuits, salty biscuits. You dip this salty in the milk and it is so tasty. And eat instead of cornflakes. Then there are different kinds of salads. There are different kinds of chutneys, dry and wet. So many things. But not from the shop, please. First thing is you have to do it yourself. So, for children, you want to give them Maggi noodles. You want to give them instant, just add boiling water and breakfast is ready. Because make woman lazy, stop their cooking in kitchen, minimize it slowly, she should stop completely. That is the propaganda. And that affects the family and the children. If woman stops cooking in house, there is no need of woman in the house. So they want to break down the family system. Woman is staying alone, man is staying alone, no one is cooking. They are dependent on outside. Even if they have some relationship, they will go to a hotel and eat together and pay their bills independently. I have seen this. I have seen a man and woman come to hotel, they eat and they tell the waiter to bring bills separately. Bring whatever I ate, bring bill for me. Whatever I ate, bring bill for me. And they pay their bills separately. I will not spend my rupee for your enjoyment. And you will not spend a rupee for my enjoyment. We are independent. We are independent, Baba. So this is the problem. So anyhow, we will stop here. There is a lot of things more to say about prasadam, and we will continue tomorrow. And hopefully, if we don't complete tomorrow, then one more session. So, because as I said, there are many things to say. I will continue tomorrow. But anyone has any questions, you can unmute your mic and we can have one or two questions. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, you have explained nicely about Prasadam. We came to know many new things. But I just wanted to ask about this thing, prayer recitation of Prasadam prayer. So there are many Prasadam prayer. One is for Prabhupada mantra, Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya.
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya.
That we have to recite before. That we have to recite before Prasadam prayer or after Prasadam prayer?
No, that is actually when you offer bhoga. When you offer bhoga, that is the time you have to chant the Prabhupada mantra 3 times, then Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya 3 times, and Hare Krishna Mahamantra 3 times. That is when you offer. And when you are going to eat prasadam, then you have to if you have time, it takes like 1.5 minutes. If you have time, you chant Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnave, this one. If you don't have time, you are in a hurry, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra 3 times. If you don't have even that time, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra 1 time. If you don't have even that time, chant just Hare Krishna 2 words. Because every time, see, even before drinking a glass of water, I have this habit. I developed this
Hare
habit
Krishna
now.
to I say.
Huh?
Hare Krishna to
Huh?
Hare Krishna to we say. But what about this Prashadam prayer? We don't have to say it full. Mahaprasade Govinda, this one.
Huh? Yes.
Full prayer we have to say.
Yeah, if you have time.
Okay.
What I am telling you is the final stage is just say Hare Krishna 2 words if you don't have time. Like I made it a habit when long back when I joined ISKCON that you need to drink water so many times in a day.
Yes, yes.
Now every time you drink water, you cannot chant Mahaprasade Govinda. Every time you cannot spend 2 minutes.
But Hare Krishna we can
Yes,
say.
you just say Hare Krishna, touch the glass to your forehead and drink the water. This you can do. Make it a habit. Okay, any other question?
Thank you, Prabhuji. And what about this prayer to Lord Chaitanya that we don't have to say before offering bhog to Krishna?
No, I said when you offer bhoga,
Hare Krishna Prabhu. प्रभू माताजीला बेसिक क्वेश्चन आहे की जेव्हा आपण देवाला नैवेद्य करतो तेव्हा कोणती प्रार्थना म्हणायची आणि जेव्हा खायचं तेव्हा कोणती प्रार्थना म्हणायची तुम्ही त्या पद्धतीने एक्सप्लेन करा.
I told you already, when you offer bhoga, when you offer to Krishna, you have to chant the Prabhupada mantra 3 times, followed by Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda 3 times, followed by Hare Krishna Mahamantra 3 times. This is when you offer bhoga to Krishna. Then you wait for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever time you have. And when you eat that, if you have time, you have to chant Mahaprasade Govinde Nama Brahmani Vaishnavi. Is the answer clear?
I got it.
Okay. Anyone else has a question? Anyone else? Any question?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandot Pranam.
Hari bol, Dandot Prabhuji.
Very favorite topic, Prabhuji.
Favorite topic?
Yes, living for that only.
I crushed the topic. Now all your taste buds are, I think, revolting maybe.
Oh, when you say metkut, rice hot, and ghee, literally I was following my everything.
Soup, metkut, bhat.
Yes.
Ani mau bhat.
Yes, steamed rice with metkut and ghee.
Yes.
Wow. Now I'm thinking where to bring the metkut, how to cook, how to make a metkut. I have to find out.
You can check on Google, as I said, and just remove the red chili from that.
Okay. So red chili is a part of our life.
Okay, I will tell you one final thing, one final request, just 2 minutes. See, actually one should not eat tomatoes also. I didn't tell you that, but that is tomorrow. 0 tomato. So
tomatoes and capsicum also, Prabhu.
Capsicum capsicum पण आहे. So anyhow, that is tomorrow. Because I spoke about chili today, I want to tell you one thing. After you hear to all these prasadam sessions, maybe whatever 2 sessions, 3 sessions, you try to implement that in your life for 6 months, everything. No chili, no this, no that, whatever I tell you. For 6 months, you do it. Just follow it, what I tell you. And after 6 months, one day you just eat little chili. And then you will have to call the fire brigade. You will understand how much destruction and harm the chili does to your body. But because you are habituated to it, you don't understand now. So anyhow, we will continue tomorrow, and hopefully if you don't, I think we'll not complete tomorrow, so we'll continue on next Saturday. So I think we'll meet tomorrow if no one has any question. Another last question if someone has a question.
Someone asked in a chat, what about the pure ghee?
Yes, that I saw in the chat. That topic is going to come in the next sessions. Pure ghee, pure milk, like this, all this. And jersey cow milk, that is also a big problem. I'll tell you all that. So I'll tell you all that maybe tomorrow or day after tomorrow. It may take 2 more sessions. Okay.
So thank you, Prabhu. Very nice class. But I want the sincere feedback from all the Matajis. After listening to Prabhu's class, maybe everybody is feeling like a burden. Offering the prasadam is such a big making prasadam is such a big task. I'm sure that everybody is feeling burden. There is no doubt.
If you love Krishna, you will cook personally.
Yeah, like
Not
I
from the
wanted to
shop.
share. Yeah, like I wanted to share. Like most of the listeners are Matajis. When we get the child, बच्चा होता है तो हम कितना ख्याल करते हैं ना. We don't buy anything outside.
Yes, you
घर में
don't give him
बनाते
outside
हैं.
things.
Yeah, like yeah, but now there are Prabhu. Maybe you are aware or not. I don't know. The ready-made baby food is also available in bottles.
Yeah. Cerelac and
Small
Cerelac
bottle.
and some
Cerelac
powder.
Cerelac nahi Prabhu. It's like how we make khichdi or something like that. Na? Like
Yes.
I remember when my children were small, I used to mix the vegetables and dal and rice and smooth khichdi like na.
I'm not aware because I raised a child 20 years back.
But now that like puris are available and
And another thing is I don't raise a child anymore. Never. Even in I give birth again. So I am not concerned about that basically now.
Yeah, so no, I just wanted to tell that Mataji कि हम हमारे बच्चों के लिए कितना केयरफुल खाना बनाते हैं, कितना केयरफुल उनको खिलाते हैं कि ताकि उनके पेट में कोई आहार की चीजें नहीं जाए. स्पेशली बहुत छोटे रहते तब, फिर बाद में तो सब हो जाता है. तो हमारे भगवान के लिए भी हमको उतना ही केयरफुल खाना कुक करना चाहिए. That is my realization कि भगवान को like Laddu Gopal, everybody is worshipping Laddu Gopal, so we have to be that much careful while offering prasadam bhoga to Laddu Gopal.
Yeah, that's what I said.
realization.
If you love Krishna, you will cook for Krishna, and when you cook for Krishna, you will think according to what to cook for Krishna, not what I like.
Right.
So okay, anyhow, we'll meet tomorrow.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare
Thank you very
Krishna.
much.
Thank you very much.